Hi, I'm Scott Cardis, and welcome to this episode of Asia Future Institute Interview. I'm here with Aulia from Indonesia. Aulia,
Hi,
glad to have you on the show.
nice to meet you.
So, can you tell us about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Aulia. I'm from Surabaya, Indonesia, and I came to Korea in 2003, just before smartphone. And I've been living here since, but I used to live in Daejeon for 8 years, and then Suwon and small cities, and just started living in Seoul at the end of 2012. And I work for a travel agency plus a bus company.
Okay, wow. So you've traveled a lot around Korea a lot.
Yeah, around Korea a lot, like
Wow.
a lot.
So, you said you're from Indonesia.
Yeah.
What is your experience coming from Southeast Asia to Korea? Like, because the cultures are very different. Like, maybe your experience or other Indonesian immigrant experiences. What's it like?
I was pretty hard on myself when I came here. I just one thing that I found it really difficult is the food, but I kept pushing myself. It's okay. Just imagine that this as that. For example, maybe tteokbokki sauce as a pasta sauce and stuff like that. But based from other people, from what I can say, they found some difficulties, and especially maybe Muslim because of the food. It's because of the food, and then places to pray. There's not a lot. I mean, Indonesians. I can only speak for Indonesians. We do have a small like mosque, like a community, but that's not even in every places. I think the difficulties is mostly the food and of course the different culture because Indonesians, like as you know, we have like 17 islands, more than 300 languages, five different wait a minute, five different regions, and then it's cities we have our own thinking and our way to do business. So it's also that one. I mean, we are trained to be flexible with other people, but in here, like you have to be, for example, in an Excel file or Word file or a presentation, you have exactly like this color and stuff like that. Even from a small details, it's difficult, and I think especially for office workers.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, and you mentioned, like obviously Muslims have a difficulty in Korea. You said like places to pray and food. How do from an example, an Indonesian Muslim person, how would they overcome these difficulties, like finding food or places to pray?
For the ones who live in Seoul, Suwon, Incheon, and the big cities, there's no such difficulties. But the ones who live in rural areas, they just use delivery and then they cook by themselves because there are so many Indonesian housewives or students. They also make food and then the delivery. But of course, it will take like a day or 2 days.
Oh, wow.
That's all. Yeah.
What advice would you give somebody from Indonesia who's coming to Korea to live or work or study?
I think I consider myself pretty lucky, Scott, because I've lived here like almost 19 years, and I'm single, I'm really proud of that. Really proud of that because, as you know, it's really hard to maintain my visa because of based on a point visa. But what I can give, advice that I can give for others is please do not just mingle with your own people and not just with Koreans, also with Americans, Canadians, or whoever. Be more international because, like for example, in this case, the COVID-19, it's really hit for Indonesians who live in Korea, especially like tour guides, the ones who in the travel business, because most of my colleagues or my friends, they are focusing on inbound from Indonesia, and there is no inbound. So I don't know how they survive right now, but for the ones who connect with Koreans and with other nationalities, they survive better. So yeah, just be more international and learn Korean and don't forget English.
Yeah. Well, especially like you mentioned, COVID has completely changed like traveling. I know many festivals in Korea have just been canceled.
Yeah.
How has it been as running a travel company in this time when no one can travel? Like what? Like you said, some people it struggled to survive. How can people survive? How can travel companies survive?
Me, because I work in a travel agency that hit on inbound and also local people, and for the foreign residents who live in Korea, we just targeting for the foreigners residents who live in Korea, and as well as local people by using SNS in Korean. And but all I can say for other travel agencies, they just updating news about COVID. Just in that way, they will look smart and maintain the relationship with their clients, with the old clients, and you can only maintain the good relationship. That's all.
Wow.
And making video content.
Oh,
yeah, of course. That's for later. The main point is not giving up and to sounds like you're productive, busy, and smart.
Oh, wow. Yeah. We hear a lot in Korea, especially like businesses were getting loans with 0% interest or tax breaks or many things. Were those made available to you? Or like, could you take advantage of these government programs to help your business survive, like pay employees or pay bus payments?
Yeah, I know that my boss has that kind of how can I say? What would you say again? I forgot suddenly.
Like a tax-free.
Yeah. He got it. The government has been really supporting for us. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Really supporting, and then for small companies, even though our tax is small, but we will not get bankrupt. So that's good. Yeah,
that's really good to hear. Yeah. I'm glad to see that people are surviving. It's a very difficult time for everyone. How do you think Koreans view people from Indonesia or Southeast Asia as a whole?
I know that Koreans really good with the Vietnamese. They feel really close to Vietnamese because the similarity in the food and culture. But Indonesian is not a drinking country, but it is mostly Muslim. So, but what I know is their perspective of Indonesians is we are hardworking. So, from based on my experience, I think Koreans just see not Southeast Asian as a global. Its countries also different. So I think they have a different view based on the country. So I can only say for Vietnam and Indonesia, but the others I don't know. But overall, it's good. And then for in the economic side, prospect, yes.
Really?
Yeah. Lots of things going on.
Really?
Yeah.
So what is the future? What do you think is the future between like Korea and Indonesia? What do you think will happen in 5, 10, or 15 years?
It's happening now. There's a lot of business going. It's a distribution and also right now like mass. There are many Korean mass companies that waiting to just go to Indonesia to work together. It's already okay, but the thing is, just traveling is kind of like forbidden at the moment. So beside on that, the health especially, I think it will be booming, and also education.
What? Well, yeah, you talked about everything I needed to ask. Thank you very much for coming.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching this episode of Asia Future Institute Interviews with Aulia. I hope you learned a lot about Indonesians and Southeast Asians coming to Korea to live and work. hope to see you again.